Halls of Torment's first boss in the Haunted Caverns might seem like the most difficult boss in the game, mostly because at this point you haven't really scaled too much, you don't have a ton of items, you probably don't have a lot of stats, and you might not really have too many heroes unlocked. With that boss being a two-part boss battle, with 2 separate HP pools, it can really seem like an overwhelming task if you're just beginning to play the game or just this genre in general. Luckily, if you're really struggling with it that much, the developers did leave a nice little secret in the game for you to try out that actually has a huge impact on the boss fight. Now, while you're playing Haunted Caverns, you may have noticed some blood trails on the ground. Now, the first couple of times you see it, you probably don't think too much of it. Might just be, particle effects, some on the ground just to kind of set the ambiance that you're in this cavern. Things are dying all over the place. But in reality, this actually leads to a really nice and enjoyable little Easter egg for the game. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this, and in this run in particular, I was able to just find the blood trails, and you're going to want to follow it to the end. Now, for this run, the direction I went ended up being the obelisks. Now, these obelisks, there's 2 of them, one at the end of each blood trail, and when you get close to them, you'll see these circles spawn with a number above the obelisk. Now, depending on which one you go to, you'll have 2 separate different circles, but basically, you need to defeat enemies inside this little circle. Once you get down to 0, an item will drop, you'll pick that up, you'll see it up near your EXP bar, and you're just going to want to follow that blood trail back to this helpful highlighted book here. Now, if you spend some time to kind of read this little flavor text, it actually gives you a little nifty hint about this item called the Token of Pain. And this little flavor text lets you know that it is going to be beneficial of you to get this item as it has betrayed its master, which ends up being that last boss at the end of 30 minutes. Now, you'll follow this other blood trail, regardless of which one you went to first, and go to the second obelisk. At that second obelisk, you'll be tasked to kill another 100 mobs, and depending on which circle you have, there's the 1 circle or the 3. It'll be the same concept at both. You just want to make sure that mobs die in these circles. Now, for me, I like to do this later in the game. It's just a lot easier to kill those mobs on that circle when there's just an overwhelming amount of monsters, basically. But you could do it at any point in the game. There's nothing stopping you from doing it immediately right when you start. I just find it a little bit easier to do it later when your build's ramped up a little bit. You'll very easily go through 100 mobs very, very quickly, past 15 minutes. And now, once you get both of these item pieces, it'll make that full item in the upper left corner. And during the beginning of both the first and second phase of this boss fight, you'll hear this loud bang. You'll see a little glow go towards the boss from the item. And you'll notice that his HP bar is actually at half. And this is going to make that boss fight significantly easier. So if this is a boss fight that is just really, really been a pain for you, I highly recommend you try out this method. And I hope that it is able to help you get through that first boss. As always, guys, if you appreciated the video, I appreciate the support. And if you found any other cool little intricate details about the game, definitely let me know down below. One of the best parts of this type of genre is that there's always a lot of little Easter eggs, hidden classes, hidden items, hidden bosses, stuff like that always make the game very enjoyable. So if you found anything, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the next one.